Access to the voice of the Lord is the master destroyer of doubts. It destroys doubts naturally, automatically. You can't hear from God and doubt Him. When God speaks, the spirit of faith enters into the individual. And the Spirit entered into me when He spake unto me and set me up upon my feet. Moved me into action, not into doubt. And the word I've spoken to you, they are spirit and they are life. The voice of the Lord is behind every statement of scriptures. My mouth, it has spoken it, and my spirit, it has gathered them. The Bible is God's dictation through men. And so shall my word be that proceeds out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void. So the voice of the Lord is back of every statement of scriptures. And I pray for everyone's access to the voice behind the word that will set you on your feet without looking back. We saw the glory of the voice celebrated in Psalm 29, verse 3 to 9. The voice of the Lord is powerful. The voice of the Lord is upon the waters. The Almighty thundereth. The voice of the Lord is upon many waters. And you know, if any man starts, come ye to the waters. Isaiah 55, verse 1. And so shall my word be. So the word is the water we're talking about. The voice of the Lord is upon His word. It thunders from it to destroy our doubt and impart us with the faith required to move into action. The voice. It sets men on their feet to make the most of their journey in life. No one ever hears from God and doubt Him. We can see that in Moses. Hey, take off your shoes off your feet, for where you are is a holy ground. I've seen the affliction of my people. Direct. I mean, Moses forgot everything that was waiting for him to harass him in Egypt. And Moses didn't go and check first and come and carry his family. He went straight. He took his wife and his two sons. Oh yeah, let's go. He heard from God. Doubt died. Faith came alive. You can't hear from God and doubt Him. You can't hear from God and doubt Him. You can't hear from God and doubt Him. I therefore pray that every form of spiritual deafness be healed right now. Every time the voice comes through, supernatural faith breaks forth. Every time the voice comes through to a man, supernatural faith comes alive in him. And so Abraham departed. I mean, an old man, he didn't know where he was going, but he was going hard from God. He heard from God. According to that which was spoken, so shall thy seed be. No room for doubt. The Almighty thundering. Every form of doubt scattered by the voice of the Lord. You can't hear from God and doubt Him. Supernatural faith is a product of Rhema any day. We are on part 4 of this subject, operating in the reality of your promised land. Operating in the reality of your promised land. One of the core features of this land is supernatural prosperity. Supernatural prosperity. Prosperity that has no match on the earth. It's a mystery of transference of wealth to covenant people. Operating in the reality of your promised land. Let's check from Deuteronomy chapter 8 and trace this a bit. I'm beginning from verse 7. For the Lord thy God bringeth thee into a good land, a land of brooks of water, of fountains and depths that spring out of valleys and hills. A land of wheat and barley and vines and fig trees and pomegranates, a land of oil, olive and honey. A land wherein thou shalt eat bread without scarceness, thou shalt not lack anything in it. A land whose stones are iron, and out of whose hills thou mayest dig brass. A land that is pregnant with treasures. Treasures. And when thou art eaten and art full, and thou shalt bless the Lord thy God, you better know that it's coming from God, for the good land which he has given thee. And beware, lest thou forget the Lord thy God in not keeping his commandments and his judgments and his statutes, which I command thee this day. Lest when thou hast eaten and art full, and hast built goodly houses, and dwelt therein, and when thy herds and thy flock multiply, and thy silver and thy gold is multiplied, and all that thou hast is multiplied, my God. Then thy heart be lifted up, say, God forbid. And thou forget the Lord thy God, which brought thee forth out of the land of Egypt, from the house of bondage. And thou will say, my strength and my might has gotten me this way. Stop that! But thou shalt remember the Lord thy God, for it is that giveth thee power to get wealth. So the promised land we're talking about is the land of empowerment for wealth. Empowerment for wealth. Empowerment for wealth. Empowerment for wealth. That he may establish his covenant, which is sworn to thy fathers, as it is this day, is on his terms, not our terms. This covenant is defined on his terms, not our terms. That may establish his covenant that is sworn to our fathers as it is this day. On his terms. So this picture shows that our prophetic promised land is a land that empowers for wealth. It's a land that empowers for wealth. Where a little one shall become 1,000, and a small one a strong nation. Men like nations rising. A land where you are empowered to possess nations greater than you. Amen.